I am Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 1941, brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married to Childers. And later in '83, I found out my real name and identity after I was in a political campaign and flown out to Larry Flint's. And by the way, the Brits are the ones who told me. But I've put all this up previously on a whole bunch of videos with background, and it's too much to go over again on a 10-minute video. So I'm going to leave it at this. This is just a birth certificate from the state of Alabama for Carl Preston Dempsey. And this is me growing up in this household. Last one is Lina. That was me I showed. And Lina was mother of the twins, Carl and Peggy. And she murdered them, and the family covered it up. And that's a glossed-over picture, by the way. I found out in '83, and I've been told that I always knew who I was subconsciously. I've been told that. And I guess I did when I can remember back at some of it. But anyway, I wanted to use some words here. Looting, no words can describe it. And under looting is plundering and pillaging. And in other words, it's the biggest heist pulled off and cover-up in history, that of taking down the British monarchy. And that's what they did with it. This woman, Elizabeth, look at all the money, the brood that have homes, live in my homes. She should be evicted and locked up, all of them. And you know what people's reaction would be, unless they see it all spread out and see what's been done to me by this woman. Her father is my uncle, George the Illegal Sixth. He's here with Roosevelt in '39, planning my kidnapping in '41. This is my wonderful father, not what history tells you. He was not even married to Wallace Simpson. Wallace Simpson married an imposter, a lookalike. They're both buried at Frogmore at Windsor Castle. This is my aunt, Georgia O'Keefe, artist. And this is my mother. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. This is my mother, Claudia Ruth, sister to Georgia. It's the O'Keefe genealogy. And a 99-year seal was put on my father's illegal takedown. And he wasn't even married to that woman, a spy, American spy. And all this happened, and my uncle, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Bilderbergers, the Kennedys. He was appointed Joe Kennedy, which is her grandfather, her father, JFK, and Joe flew into the embassy there because Joe Kennedy, her grandfather, was appointed ambassador during that time. And how did I get across the pond? The best I can say is that they kidnapped me there, I know that. And the Kennedys fly. They were flying during the war, and they were staying at the embassy or in London and even spoke before Parliament. How about that? So when I say the theft of the British monarchy, that's what I mean. And it's the biggest crime in history. This woman, by doing that, I'm going to have to sit down. I've been worked over so much, and I'm in bad health. And I don't know where my two sons, Mark and Scott, are that are heirs after me. Her father, Elizabeth's father, George, the one the movie was made of and made him out to be the King's Speech, this great person, whole thing's a lie. The whole thing is a lie and a charade. And the biggest theft, what happened was they illegally took down my father. And when I was born, they my uncle told me, Victoria II, and I am the legal heir. This has all been covered up, the 99-year seal that was placed on it. There was an addendum to my father's forced takedown, so-called abdication, and it's all legal. I've been told that by British, whose great-grandfather, I believe, was one of the judges. It was all legal. My father was forced out. He meant to come back. He was married to my mom, not this American spy whore. There's a lot of words I could use. They're both the same. What do you call this woman? Everybody loves her? My God, I've been made homeless. I have been tortured in ways that most people can't even imagine because I was born and because this woman helped her father. She's maintained it, and so would Charles. And they're making this. I wanted to make this clear on this tape. They've just announced the name of William and Kate's baby girl, and they named her Charlotte, Elizabeth, Diana. They're illegal, and they all have to know about this. They certainly do. Diana would know it, have known it too, and they just don't talk about it. Who's going to prosecute them at this point? There's nobody but God could bring it all down. The British people have been sold out. And by the way, I wanted to mention this. I don't know what's on my birth certificate. There is one. It's under seal, like the forced takedown of my father and the cover-up, 99 years to cover up, because we'd all be dead, right? And they're part of the New World Order. The Obamas, the Netherlands, these are all my family there, the family in Netherlands, who sold out too and joined the New World Order, the Jews, the Illuminati, and the Kennedys. So I want to say that on my birth certificate, you won't ever hear, unless it's unsealed, unless somebody is forced to take this woman down, and that illegal lineage there, a bunch of thieves. My mother's name's Claudia Ruth. I'm Victoria II. So I assume Margaret, that was the name I was called, I'm told, was going to be called, or it should be my name, but Margaret, Victoria II, and my mother's name's Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. I hope I got her name on my birth certificate. I hope to get it returned to me. And now I wanted to say, in this illegal takedown, I could look pretty too and in good health. But this woman has lived a life on the money and everything that's mine and my father and my children. I keep saying that because there's no words to describe it and what she's done. Held accountable. And by the way, in the Netherlands, the Rockefellers have really taken over all of it, but that's where the war crimes are held. So they're not going to prosecute themselves, you know. So this is Larry Flynn. I was flown out to his home. It was in Bel Air then, and I remember him saying I was there twice in a campaign to replace the Dr. Congressman Larry McDonald I'd written about in the medical malpractice book, and I had antifreeze put in me, among all this other stuff that's happened to me that no one's paid for. But the plane he was on went down August the 31st of 83. And by the way, Diana died 10 years later, so I'll leave it at that. But I had written a medical malpractice book, MD A License to Kill, and that's when the antifreeze was put in me. And part of it was about Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, and the deaths of Warren and Rosina Matthews, and deaths that are made appear of natural cause. And these are just a continuance of them, and they're done in patterns. And a letter I got from the FBI, it was on my father's birthday, by the way, June the 23rd. Of course, it was 79. FBI, it was an FBI investigation that was turned over to a U.S. attorney in Atlanta, and that was William Harper. And it said,